So let's play a game of what if. What if life was a epic picture movie? An epic picture movie. That's life. What if every person in your life was an actor or an actress? Some of the actors or actresses are extras. Some of them have a reoccurring role in your, movie. They have a main character role. Some of them have a supporting character role. Some are meant to be, some play the role of a villain. Some play the role of the savior. Some play the role of the mediator. Some play the role um, the problem solver. Some play the role of the guide. Some play the role of whatever role that you can possibly think of, that every movie has these certain roles. If you think about the last movie that you've seen, every movie has a main character, and those main characters have, the people in their lives. So the people you know, um, that are constant in their lives. So those are the supporting characters. Okay, then you have the extras, which will be the people that they, may just kind of come across on a day-to-day basis. They, the people at the grocery store, the people, the neighbors that they speak to every now and then with just a wave of the hand as they're passing their house. So you have people that play their role in your life. You have the villain, where the villain may be the person that y'all are kind of arch enemies or frenemies, or like whatever. Or the villain may be an ex. The villain may be a sibling. The villain may be that frenemy. But usually you have villains in your life for the average person. You have, we already went over the supporting characters, but you just have the different roles that everyone play in your life. And I honestly feel that that's the way that life actually is. You are sent here to play a role. Now, who is behind that role is whether that depicts whether or not you will play the villain in that story, or if you are the guide, or the mediator or whatever in that movie. So what role are you playing in your life, and what role are you playing in someone else's life? Because that's the thing. Sometimes we may play one role to this person, but to a completely different person, we may actually play a whole other role to that person. Because of the way that we relate to different people, we relate to different people in different ways. So you may be the villain in someone else's epic movie picture. You may actually be the villain. You may play the guide to someone else and the villain to a completely different person. You may be an angel to one person, a guide to another person, and a villain to a completely different person. So life is funny that way. Everyone sees you through whatever lens that they're looking from. So the lens that they are looking from is usually themselves. They are viewing you through their trauma. They are viewing you through their experience. So if they have never experienced a good thing, then they're not going to view something else as a good thing. So that's why you may be the villain in that person's movie, because their perspective through their lens is that of a negative perspective of, it will probably be pretty much anything good will be negative to that person. And the negative will be good to that person because that's what they know. So that's what's familiar. So when you're showing me what's familiar, this is good because this is what I know. If you're showing me something completely outside of the box that I have built around myself and others that I feel like life should be in, then they will see that as something negative because it's outside of what their lens can see. Some people can only see but so far. And when you try to show them something beyond what they see, they may place the role of the villain on you. You didn't ask to get cast as the villain. But that may be the only role that they have available for you at that time. That's the capacity that they have for you at that time. So what role do you play to others? What role were you cast into in other people's lives? And what role does each person in your life play? Who's the villain in your movie? Who's the savior in your movie? Who's the angel in your movie? Who's the guide in your movie? Who are your supporting characters? Who are your extras? Find it not strange that everyone plays a different role in your life, and I will tell you why. Everyone plays a different role because you need each and every one of those roles. You need all of those roles in order for you to grow. Every villain that you encounter is for your soul's growth. Had it not been for that villain, you would not know how to handle certain situations. You would not know that you don't need to fret in a chaotic situation because they are trying to get that. That's what their goal is. They want you to be afraid. So had you not been in that chaotic situation, you may not know or understand that this is not the time for me to feel afraid, because I know that the enemy wants me to feel afraid. So I'm going to do the complete opposite. This too shall pass. Had it not been for that chaotic situation, you would not have that piece of information. Had it not been for your angel, the angel in your life, then you wouldn't know the feeling of grace. You would not know the feeling of love. You would not know the feeling of mercy in human form. Because we know, well, most people know, we know of it. You know, grace, mercy, and love, we know of it from, going to church or whatever. But a lot of people have never felt that in real life. They have never felt that from another human. They know that we are supposed to feel that from God, but whether or not if they recognize it and accept it, then that's a completely different story. But many people have not felt it from another human. So that's the role of the angel in your life, is going to show you that love, humility, um, patience, kindness, grace, and mercy. That's what that angel sent in your life is going to do. And you may not recognize it, you may not even appreciate it initially, because once again is foreign. That's outside of the box that most people has, recognized life to hand to them. So most people, you know, will will not even acknowledge that that angel is just that, is an angel, and that that angel is heaven sent to them. Most times when you encounter that angel, when that angel comes into your life, then it's during a transformative time of your life, during a time that you are at the fork of your road. When you're in the fork of your road and you have to decide whether or not if you're going to, veer to the left or if you're going to veer to the right. You have to choose which road that you're going to go into. Oftentimes, the Lord will send an angel into your life for you to see what's down the right path. Now, you've already had enough experiences down the left path or the wrong path. You already are well aware of what you will encounter, or the types of individuals that you will encounter if you veer to the left. That's been your life, so that's nothing new. But you kind of want to get a little, well, the Lord's grace, well, His mercy will allow you to encounter this angel so that you can get a little, you know, crash course, or like a little sample of what's down that right path. Now, the test is going to be, how do you handle that angel? How do you handle your encounter? How do you treat that angel in response to receiving all of these new things, this love and kindness and grace and mercy and patience, these foreign things? How do you handle that? Do you take advantage of it? Do you mishandle it? Do you take it for granted? Do you try to downplay it? So that's going to be the test. When He sends you a guide into your life, so that guide will try to, give you wisdom. That guide will try to tell you, things that you may not see, or that you may not know, that you may be overlooking. But with the wisdom of that guide, then that guide will try to help you to understand your decision. So once again, the test will be, will you take the advice of your guide? Would you recognize that as wisdom? Something that you need to hear? Because because it's it's always a test, because, like I said, that if you veer left at the fork of your road, if you veer left, you are already well acquainted with those negative things. You are already well acquainted with negative situations, negative people, negative mindsets. You're already acquainted with this smallness. You're acquainted with this stuckness. You're acquainted with that, because that's been your whole life. But when you veer right, that's full of expansion and growth and goodness and kindness and all of the godly things if you veer right. So you will encounter all of these different people to see how you will handle it. How do you handle coming in contact with all of these different people at the different stages of your life? That determines the ending of your movie. That's what determines if your movie will end in a bang, if your movie will end in a, love story, a fairy tale love story, if the movie will end in despair, if the movie can end in any kind of way that you want, but it's determined by how you handle these different characters in your life. So don't take it for granted, and think it not strange that you come across, people that are completely different than what you are used to. When you come across someone that is completely different than what you are used to, then that's a sign that you are at a fork in your road. That's a sign that very soon you will need to be making a decision on if you need to veer left or if you need to veer right. If you need to go with the known or if you need to go with the unknown. If it's time for you to grow and expand, or if you want to remain stagnant and stuck. When you come encounter with someone that is completely different than your average person, that's your sign. So be very mindful of how you treat these people, because like I said, this will determine how your movie will end. You can have a beautiful end. You can have a ending where you're out on the lake watching fireworks. There's many ways that it can end, and that's not saying that you have to, stay in relationship with that person, but you do have to treat them kind. You do have to take heed to the lessons that are meant to come your way through that person. That's in the script of your movie. But if you try to turn as the villain on that person that is sent in your life, like this is in script, so this person is playing their role. They are doing what the script says do. So they're doing their job. But if you go off script and try to make yourself the villain in their movie, you're not even cast as the villain in their movie. But for some reason, you feel that you want to play, you actually want to be the villain. You're not even meant to be a villain. But you thought that the villain in someone else's movie looked pretty cool. You thought that was a cool role to play. So now you decide at the last minute that you want to play the role of a villain in someone else's life. As a matter of fact, from now on, I want to be the villain in everybody's life. If that's the route that you decide to take, then your movie may not end well. Your movie may not end with the fireworks and and the happily ever after and those things. When you treat that angel or guide or that mediator, or when you treat these people with respect and kindness and just a reciprocal energy, when you reciprocate what they are giving you, is really the way that it's supposed to go. When you at bare minimum reciprocate it, then that will advance you on to meet your next, you know, angel or guide or the mediator, or like whoever the positive people that are sent in at those transformative times of your life. When you treat one well, then that unlocks it so that you will now be on path to meet the next one. But when you treat that first one, or whichever one, when you treat that one rogue and just barbaric, then now that throws you off the path. Now you will never meet the other ones that were sent in your path to bless you. You will never meet them because your first one was going to send you on to the next one, and then on to the next one, and on to the next one. But when you go off script, now you're off path. And now you have just altered the ending of your movie. So imagine how upsetting that is for the director. And the director being God. So imagine how upsetting that would be for the director to know that he's laid it out. He's already written the script. He's laid it out so that, this person will play this role. This person will play that role. And as long as everybody play their roles, everything can go smooth. You are destined. You are supposed to. You are scripted in the movie to have this fairy tale ending. But once somebody wants to throw it off, they want to be the villain because they want to look cool. So now they want to play the villain in your movie when that is not even their role. That's not their role. The outfit doesn't fit right. The costume doesn't even fit right because that wasn't their role to play. So when you hear the term "stay in your lane," that's what that's talking about. Stay in your lane in life. Play the role that you are meant to play. Play that role well, actually. You just may receive a what they call those, an award. You may be given the award for the best, the best actor on for the movies in 2025. You just may receive an award for that. If you play your role and you play your role well. But when you go off script and start doing all this weird stuff, just because you feel like it, just because you want to be the one wearing the cape. The cape isn't even meant for you. You got a big neck. The cape don't even tie up around your neck. So now you walking around in this, this costume that doesn't even fit you right. And since you do not even have the script for that role, now you don't even play the role well. You're not even playing that role well because you hadn't studied that role. That's not your role to play. You don't have the script for that role. That wasn't given to you because you weren't supposed to be there. So life is just an epic picture movie where everyone is playing a different role. All of the different roles are for a reason. They have been studying their scripts since the beginning of their lives. You will encounter different people at different moments because it is written into the script. You want to make the director happy. You want to be, you want to continue to, play your role or like be, you know, gifted a new role or whatever. Like I can't think of the names of the terms when, the actors are picked to get, they are chosen to, to play a new role or whatever, but it's a big movie, but it's a new role for that actor. So that's why when you see all of the elite actors, because they are known for playing all of, the roles in the big epic picture movies. They're not known, those are the A-listers. They're known for getting all the good scripts for the movies that will end up winning, an Academy Award or winning whatever award that they will go on to win because they were casted. That's the word I was looking for. Because they were casted into the perfect movie that was already scripted for them to play. Some people, some directors in real life now, some directors will write a role just for that actor, or they will add in a new character just for a particular actor. And that's the way it is in real life. The Lord is our director. And He has already written out the scripts of our lives. Everyone is supposed to play a role. And everyone is supposed to play that role well. So don't go off script playing a role that you were not meant to play. Don't go off script thinking that you can take stuff from other people or thinking that you deserve to have something that somebody else has, and not even that you deserve it as well, but you deserve it over them. They don't deserve it, but you deserve it. Don't go off script. Don't be that rogue actor or actress. Don't be the rogue one. Because you get rewarded for playing your role and for playing your role well. You may have front row seats at the next award ceremony. Front row seats, you got easy access to the stairway that will lead you up onto the stage. Play your role well, and stay in your lane.